Hello everyone, my name is Arthur Soltis. Today I will be discussing a common ritual in my culture, which is baptism. And baptism is something that is very common in all sects of Christianity. But the baptism that I went through with my church is a lot different than a baptism that would be taken out of church you would commonly find to an American. And that is because I am Ukrainian. I am from Ukrainian immigrant parents. And many immigrants in Ukraine moved to America during the early 1990s for religious freedom, and they came here and they all started churches. And Ukrainian community in Seattle is pretty close knit. We all go to various Ukrainian churches. Well, most of us do. And these churches are very close knit. And almost all the churches perform the same type of baptism, which is to go to Lake Washington or a lake in the area, and then have a big ceremony. And it's a pretty big deal in Ukrainian tradition. And today I'm going to be presenting to you an artifact, which is my baptism book. It is something that I received after I performed my baptism. I'm going to talk about the things in here, and at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys snippets from my baptism. So in the first page of my baptism book, it's nothing much, but this is just a self-portrait of me that was taken when I confirmed that I would be taking baptism. And baptism in Ukrainian churches is something that happens once a year, which is a contrast to many American churches. Because American churches, you can do it anytime, but in Ukraine, it's like you have one shot to this each year, and if you miss it, then you have to wait till next year. And so, early December, usually, the pastors will call people up to privately talk to them and tell them if they want to take baptism. And after that, the people who will want to take baptism will go up to the front of the church once service, and this is me and all of the people who want to take baptism in front of the church. We're in the front row, all the people in the back are actually the church choir. There's about 10 of us, and what we have to do is we have to confess to church why we are going to take baptism and what it meant to us. And so after you do that, everyone in the church knows you're taking baptism, and it just kind of becomes a big deal. But before you take baptism, you have to take baptism classes. And because there are about 10 students of us, there's a teacher, and every single week we would meet up at church. I think it would be Friday nights, and we would basically go over chapters in the Bible, and the whole point of the classes was so we would know what baptism was about, and that we wouldn't make any decisions or any regrets later in life that we took baptism for the wrong reason. And so this is a picture of my class. There's 5 girls and 5 guys. And our teacher is in the very dead center. And that's our class. And over here there are pictures of us. And we are studying the Bible. And we are reading things and just doing Bible stuff. And we actually had to model for these pictures. They weren't actually us in the moment, but it looked a lot like that. And so these are the brethren of the church, the main pastors, and they are the people who will end up baptizing us at the end of the classes, which the end of the classes usually takes about 6 months, and it's usually in July or August that they do it. They try to pick a warm season. This is a picture of all the church brethren in front of the church, taking a picture. Right here we have pictures of the testimonials of all the people who took baptism. Here is my testimonial. And what I did is I picked a Bible verse. I said, "And my God will meet all our needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus." And then I wrote after that, "I like this verse because it reminds me to fully rely on God for everything that I need in life. I decided to get baptized because I feel like it is my next step in improving my relationship with God. I feel ready to serve God my entire life." And so everyone really wrote their own things. And so here are all the girls of the class. And then the married couple. Now, there's no age restrictions on being baptized. And in Ukrainian churches, it's something that is a pretty big deal. And in the video I'm going to show everyone, it's basically the process. I mean, well, the white robes are there to signify purity. And I go in, I kind of paused mid video about it, And really what happens is that it's this huge event. Everyone's invited, and everyone's families who don't even go to the church that's holding the baptism show up. It's a huge event, and it takes all day long. And early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, is when the snippets take place. And we are all standing and waiting in the beginning, and the water was pretty cold. And so there'll be a stage, and on the stage, that's where the service takes place. That's where the choir sits, and that's where all the baptism people sit in the very front. And the whole church sits on chairs looking at him. And then after an hour and a half of service, everyone goes up to the water. And then we all stand and we wait in line, one by one we take baptism, we go into the water, we get done, we get out, and we go change, and we go back to sit down. And after that, everyone has to drive to, you won't see this, but everyone drives to the church. And then they have normal service, and after that there's a big party. And that's basically how baptism is in Ukrainian church. It's a huge celebration, and while it is a religious event, it is also a social event at the same time. And this is the end of my talking portion of it, and I hope that you enjoyed the video.
How are you?
So what do we say exactly? Do we just say theater?
They're gonna be like, dude, they're gonna be like,
Вірю, що Ісус Христос є Син Божий. Вірю, що Він умер і воскрес для оправдання нашого. І обіцяєш йому доброї совісті на все своє життя. На підставі твоєї віри, твого власного свідчення, хрестимо тебе во ім'я Отця і Сина і Духа Святого.
I'll get pictures.